You stand there in the quiet dawn, questioning where it all went wrong, wondering why the hearts that once promised forever have suddenly turned into strangers. Why did your sincerity meet only silence? Why do the echoes of their departure still ring in the corners of your mind? Do not rush to blame yourself. This collapse is not a personal failure. It is not a sign that you were not enough. It is a necessary movement of your very soul's evolution. We often carry the weight of other people's choices as if they were our own mistakes, but the truth is much deeper than a simple misunderstanding or conflict. Every relationship that fades is a lesson in disguise, a mirror reflecting the parts of us that are ready to move toward a much higher state of being. Look closely at your reflection. The fatigue you feel is not just from sadness, it is the strain of trying to hold together things that were meant to break. The universe has a way of clearing the path when we are too afraid to let go. This space around you is not a void, it is a beginning. Time does not just heal, it reveals. It shows us that what we thought was a tragedy was actually an act of mercy for our future growth. You gave your best, and that is all that matters. If they could not handle your light, it is because their eyes were still accustomed to the dark. Release the guilt that keeps you tethered to the past. You are not defined by who left you, but by the strength you find in standing alone. The echoes of the breakdown are fading now. It is time to stop asking why and start understanding the profound mechanics of why we truly drift apart. There are 7 fundamental filters that determine the lifespan of our connections. The first and most common is the divergence of our internal vibrational frequencies. When you begin to heal and elevate your mind, you naturally vibrate at a level that no longer resonates with those who choose to remain in stagnancy. This frequency mismatch is not an insult to them. It is simply a law of nature. Water and oil can never truly mix, no matter how hard they try. The second filter is uneven growth. Imagine a tree growing so fast that it shatters the small pot it was planted in. That pot is the relationship. When one person seeks expansion and the other seeks comfort in the status quo, the tension eventually reaches a breaking point that neither can ignore any longer. You cannot carry someone to a destination they aren't willing to walk toward. Growth is a solo journey that sometimes requires leaving familiar company behind. The third filter is the exhaustion of utility. Many people are in our lives only because we serve a specific purpose for their ego or their needs. When you stop being a tool for their convenience and start being yourself, those who only valued your utility will naturally fall away from your path. The fourth filter is the awakening of self-respect. Once you realize your worth, you stop accepting the breadcrumbs of affection that once felt like a feast. Setting boundaries is often seen as a betrayal by those who benefited from you having none. Your no is a filter that keeps out the takers. Fifth, we have the reflection of shadows. Sometimes, your presence is a reminder of the growth they are avoiding, making them uncomfortable in their own skin. They don't hate you, they hate the light in you that reveals the parts of themselves they aren't ready to face or heal yet. The sixth filter is a change in life purpose. As our souls mature, our missions change, and sometimes our partners' missions lead them to different horizons altogether. It is okay to honor the time you spent together while acknowledging that your destinies are no longer intertwined in the way they used to be. Finally, the seventh filter is the protection of personal energy. Your soul knows when an environment has become toxic, even before your mind can admit it. Distance is not a punishment, it is a spiritual boundary. It is the act of keeping your sacred space clean from noise and unaligned intentions. These filters are not meant to isolate you, but to refine your circle until only those who truly belong stay by your side through the fire. Every loss is a subtraction that leads to a greater addition. You are being pruned so that you can grow stronger and more vibrant than before. Do not mourn the people the filters have removed. They were the scaffolding for a version of you that no longer needs that temporary support. Accept the silence that follows. It is in this stillness that you will hear the voice of your true self, unburdened by the expectations of others. The pain of separation is the birth pangs of a new identity. You are becoming someone who no longer needs external validation to feel whole. Understanding these filters is the first step toward freedom. Now, let us dive into the profound psychological core of why these clashes actually occur. To understand the collapse of relationships, we must look through the lens of Carl Jung, the master of the human psyche and its hidden depths. Jung famously said that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a deeper understanding of our own hidden and repressed qualities. This is the concept of the shadow. In every relationship, we aren't just interacting with a person, we are interacting with their unconscious projections and our own. When a relationship fails, it often means the shadow of both parties can no longer find a way to compromise or hide behind polite masks. The mask, or the persona, is what we use to attract others. But the shadow is what eventually breaks the connection when it is finally revealed. You didn't do anything wrong. You simply stopped playing a role that was convenient for them, allowing your true, unpolished self to finally emerge. Jung called the process of becoming your true self individuation. It is a lonely path that often requires the death of old, misaligned relationships. When two people collide, it is either a transformation or a destruction. If the relationship cannot handle the truth of who you are, it must break. We often project our unmet needs onto others. When they fail to meet those impossible standards, we feel betrayed, but the fault lies in the projection. Your partner was a mirror. Once you learned what you needed to see about yourself, the mirror's purpose was fulfilled, and it was time to move. The end of a relationship is often the completion of a psychological contract you didn't even know you had signed with your own subconscious mind. Don't judge the ending. Instead, look at the growth that was forced upon you through the friction of that difficult and painful human connection. What feels like a loss is often an archetypal shift. You are moving from the child who needs approval to the sage who seeks truth. The storm of the breakup was necessary to wash away the illusions you built your life upon. Now, only the solid ground of reality remains. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a participant in a grand psychological drama designed to make you more conscious of your power. The cracks in your heart are where the light of consciousness enters. Without the break, there would be no room for the new self to breathe. Stop apologizing for your evolution. The version of you that they loved was a version that you have outgrown through your own silent inner work. Like a snake shedding its skin, you are leaving behind a container that is too small for your expanding soul. The process is natural and inevitable. Jung believed that our life's purpose is to become who we were always meant to be. If a relationship hinders that, the psyche will break it. You are charting new territory now. The old maps no longer work because the landscape of your heart has shifted permanently toward a higher ground. Your worth is not a variable based on someone else's opinion. It is a constant, written in the stars of your own unique and divine existence. Every person you lose is a ripple that helps you find your center. Don't chase the ripple. Return to the source of the water within. The solitude you feel is a sacred container. It is a space where you can finally listen to your own soul without the noise of others. Let the old connections go with gratitude. They were the teachers of your past, but they cannot be the companions of your bright and new future. You are the artist of your own life. Sometimes, you must scrape away the old paint to reveal the masterpiece that has been waiting underneath. From the ashes of your old relationships, a stronger and wiser version of you is rising. This is the alchemy of the human heart at work. The river of life moves only forward. Trying to hold on to the past is like trying to stop the flow of water with your bare hands. Your life is a temple, and you are the gatekeeper. It is your right and your duty to decide who is worthy of entering your space. Self-knowledge is the key that unlocks the door to true freedom. Once you know yourself, the loss of others can no longer diminish your inner light. Rest in the understanding that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You are being prepared for a love that matches your true, authentic soul. Let's apply this to the real world. Think of your workplace. Have you ever felt isolated or pushed out despite doing your job perfectly well? This often happens because you stopped compromising with mediocrity. Your excellence became a threat to the comfortable shadows of those around you in the office. Being excluded is often a sign that you have outgrown the collective ego of the group. It is not a failure, it is a forced promotion. In family dynamics, the collapse is even more painful. You might be the one who is suddenly viewed as difficult or different by your kin. In reality, you are likely breaking generational chains of trauma. By choosing a different path, you are highlighting the cages they have chosen to stay in. Choosing distance from family isn't always about hate, it's about survival. You are protecting your peace from patterns that no longer serve your high purpose. The black sheep of the family is often just the one who found the light first. Don't be afraid to lead by example, even from afar. Consider your long-term friendships. Some people are meant to be a chapter, not the whole book. Letting them go makes room for new characters. Deleting old contacts and clearing digital clutter is an act of energetic hygiene. It signals to the universe that you are ready for something new. Every time you walk away from a connection that drains you, you gain a massive amount of energy to invest in your own creative dreams. Space is a luxury. Do not be in a hurry to fill the void left by others. Enjoy the silence. It is where your intuition speaks. Use this time to rebuild your foundation. What do you truly value? What kind of energy do you want to attract into your life next? Your relationship with yourself is the only one that lasts forever. Invest in it with the same passion you once gave to others who left. When you are aligned with your truth, you will attract people who celebrate your growth rather than fear it. Quality always outweighs the quantity of friends. The betrayals of the past were just the universe removing obstacles from your path. They did you a favor by leaving when they did. Breathe in the freedom of not having to explain yourself anymore. You are no longer on trial in the court of other people's limited perceptions. You are a work in progress, and that is beautiful. The people who couldn't handle the draft don't deserve to see the final, polished masterpiece. Like the tide, people will come and go. Learn to love the ocean, not just the individual waves. The ocean of your soul is infinite. Forgiveness is not for them, it is for you. It is the act of cutting the energetic cord that keeps you tied to their story. Honor the memories, but don't live in them. Your life is happening right now, in this very moment, and it is full of untapped potential. Step by step, you are reclaiming your power. Every choice to prioritize your peace is a victory for your future self and your destiny. The world is vast, and there are millions of souls waiting to meet the real you. Don't let a few bad experiences close your heart. You hold the key to your own happiness. No one else has the power to give it to you or take it away unless you allow it. Finally, we reach the state of awakening. This is where you realize that the loneliness you feared was actually the doorway to your true freedom. It rids you of the false guilt and replaces it with a profound sense of clarity. You are finally seeing the world as it truly is. Those who left have finished their mission in your life. They were the catalysts for the transformation you are experiencing right now in this moment. Stop looking back at the closed doors. They were locked for a reason, and you no longer have the key because you no longer need it. You did nothing wrong. You were simply growing at a pace that others could not match. That is a reason for celebration, not for sorrow. Your value is not determined by how many people stay in your life, but by the depth of the connection you have with your own spirit. Protect your energy. It is the most precious resource you have. Don't waste it on trying to convince the unaligned to see your worth. The journey forward is yours to define. You are the captain, the author, and the light bearer of your own magnificent and unfolding story of life. Walk into your future with your head held high. You have survived the breakdown, and now you are ready for the breakthrough of a lifetime. You are resilient. You are powerful. You are enough exactly as you are. Never let anyone's absence make you forget your own incredible and divine presence. The universe is supporting you in ways you cannot yet see. Trust the process, trust the timing, and most importantly, trust yourself and your heart. You did nothing wrong. You just became too big for a small world. Go forward, live your truth, and finally, be truly and completely free. If this resonates with your journey, leave a yes in the comments. Subscribe to keep exploring the depths of your mind, and until next time, protect your peace.